Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning everyone. Nice to meet you all. My name is Sindy Aulia Rachmah from Economy Development Class B. Before I share my presentation, I will ask you a question. Have you ever heard that poverty in Indonesia will increase again in 2020? If you do not, now let me explain to you in this occasion. In this presentation, I will discuss the number of poor people has the potential increase to 12 million people by 2020. The purpose of my presentation is to find out about increasing poverty in Indonesia and how the government is tackling this problem. The Center of Reform on Economic Indonesia predicts that the poverty in Indonesia will increase between 5.1 million and 12.2 million people in the second quarter of this year. Growth this poverty rate was influenced by slumping economy, while as the application of social and mobility restriction in a number of areas which result in large job losses. Implementation of social and mobility restriction in various areas has an impact on the cessation of company activities. This has resulted in job losses and left on a large scale. The Center of Reform on Economy Indonesia predicts that this condition will have an impact on increasing the poverty rate in Indonesia. Center of Reform on Economic Indonesia project growth in the poverty rate into three scenarios. In a severe scenario, poverty will increase by 5.1 million people or grow to 30.8 million people. In the heavier scenario, grow to 8.25 million people. Meanwhile, in a very tough scenario, the number of people living below the poverty line will reach 87.9 million people. This scenario was prepared with the assumption that the peak of the COVID-19 pandemic will occur in the second quarter of 2020 and will gradually subside. The highest growth in poverty rates will occur in urban areas. However, if population movement from urban to rural areas cannot be prevented, it is feared that it will have an impact on increasing the potential for poverty growth in rural areas. Center of Reform on Economic Indonesia advises the government to formulate a number of strategies in overcoming this, as well optimized to integrate the distribution of targeted social assistance. The government is also advised to reduce the burden on public expenditure by reducing government-controlled costs. Reduce the burden of public spending, especially the poor. There are several options made. For example, lowering the price of fuel oil. Then, expand the electricity discount assistance, especially for 900-volt ampere electricity. Users who previously only received a 50% discount, maybe the discount may be increased. And then, lowering the LPG price, especially LPG in the 3 kg category, which is mostly consumed by middle to lower class people. Then, the government is also in charge to increase intensity and improve logistic channel for the harvest of farmers, ranchers, and fishermen. The government is also expected to optimize budget reallocation by both the central and regional government, such as by allocation a national economic recovery program, budget into a social safety net budget, and reallocation of budget for pre-employment card programs that are less relevant into the provision of basic necessities for the beneficiary community. So, this is all about my presentation. In conclusion, is that the COVID-19 pandemic in 2020 is one of the causes of the increasing number of poor people in Indonesia. Thank you for your attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.